He found out where I lived being Toaster. He basically made a threat that he was going to come to my secondary school and perform a violent act, we'll say. So I had to get the police involved.
Throughout school, I've always been, it's fatty this or fatty that, you won't fit through the door or stuff like that. But I think I'd sort of grown a mentality, sort of laugh it off almost. Like nowadays, it doesn't really affect me, and it hasn't done for many years.
Would you go to a shopping centre, stand up and go, take a look at this photo, this is me on holiday, and then everybody come up and sort of tap you on back, and you're counting the taps on the back?
I've always said to people that if I was in the job I was in, I wouldn't have as many social media accounts as what I do.
It is the younger generation that go up and they put these photos up, and if they don't get enough likes or comments, they don't feel validated in the world around them.
I suppose what you're hinting at here is my announcement that if you haven't seen already, hello and welcome to another episode of the Say Something Souch podcast, where I'm joined by Ethan Mulvern and Steve Souch. How are you guys doing?
I'm very good, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm great, thanks, mate.
Good stuff. Thoughts on the last episode?
I really enjoyed the last episode. I thought it was quite funny, to be honest.
It was good fun. Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah?
Might be a bit, what's the word? It wasn't, I don't want to say loose, but it needs to be
loosey-goosey.
I think we're quite reserved. I think when it's your first one and when you start out, it's going to take a little bit of time to find your bearings, and obviously we don't want to upset Jordan too much. So we
know how he gets.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? We've got to be careful, because what you see on the camera, off the camera, Jordan is completely different. So we've got to be careful what we do.
Moving swiftly on, this month we're talking all things social media, the good, the bad, and the addictive. So let's get straight into it. Have you guys seen on LinkedIn, Instagram, any social media platform, any mistakes that you see businesses make?
Well,
I think the social media, for me, I'm 37. I grew up in a world where social media didn't exist. As I said, I think last time we were using Nokias and abacuses and whatever we were doing back then.
I think they're self-defense items.
And I think with social media, it's changed from what I remember when it first come out. When it first come out, Facebook, I remember the launch, and it was all about connecting people, bringing people closer together. And obviously it's completely evolved from that now. Like LinkedIn with businesses, it's very much, I think a business platform, but it's now taken a bit of a change to, I would say, social, wouldn't you? You get some social stuff on there now.
Yeah,
definitely.
And I think sometimes when businesses, now, if any of you don't know, Leela's in marketing. She does social media. That's what she's trained in. Now, people use LinkedIn for social and personal stuff, and then Facebook more for business. But it doesn't necessarily mean they're right for your business. There's always a good platform for your business, like you, Jordan, with your videography. It'd be Instagram. Yeah, 100% to show what you do.
It's more it's that creative side, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you need a platform for what is for your business. Like for us, we wouldn't use Instagram. Like, what I'm going to do, take a photo of a laptop and pose it. Like,
you could.
It might get views, mate. It might bump the likes. You never know.
I suppose it depends what you're wearing in front of that laptop, doesn't it?
It's a whole new episode, that, isn't it?
It's a completely different episode. It might be what's the other social one, OnlyFans.
Whoa. We have got the videographer.
PG-18 now.
A part-time gig.
But yeah, right, so let's talk. Like, you guys grew up in social media.
Yeah.
Like, you're what, 12?
12.
13 next week.
Oh, good. So you grew up with it.
Can I just say quickly, right? The first time I saw this guy, I thought he was genuinely like 30.
Thanks.
Well,
I appreciate that.
Like, Ethan does look older than me. It is something I'm proud of.
No, hang on. I didn't think you were younger than Ethan. I just thought he looked 30.
What?
So arguably, hang on. So if I'm 30, how old was he?
Careful, Jordan.
No, don't be careful. Say it. Look at him. Tell him. Look at his eyes and tell him that he was 50.
50? 50? No, I don't know. Like,
Joe, I will say this happens a lot though.
Well, okay. While we're talking about this though, right? Nice haircut.
Oh, for God's
I thought, it's an okay haircut. Ethan's walked in like he's robbed a homeless man's hair. Like, did he find it on the street and just put it on like that, dude? And then, again, if there's any of you, like the dinosaurs, we were in the office the other day. Now, when I grew up, there's a show called The Dinosaurs, and there's the dad in there, wears the checkered red and black top. Ethan sits next to me in the office, and he turned. I don't know what it was, but at that moment, it just reminded me of the dinosaurs and the haircut. It's like the the dinosaur's hair. I can't help it, but yeah, carry on.
You look like Norman, right? Don't give me that.
I embrace that. I'm ginger. We're rare. We're a rare breed.
What, a dinosaur isn't?
Dinosaurs are extinct.
No, mate,
You should say that's a compliment.
did
You
say I was
look
old.
like a puppet with someone's hand at their backside, is what I'm saying. Right? Do you know what I mean?
Right, okay.
Anyway, moving on. We're coming up.
How do we get from social media to this?
Because he started digging at my age. Got to
didn't.
throw it back.
He said I was 30.
You had a rough you had a hard paper round, didn't you, mate?
Is that what they call working for you?
Touche.
Where were we talking about? You said Ethan. Oh
yeah.
screwing up
So you
socials.
you grew up in social media.
Yeah.
So you were 2004.
Yep.
You were 2000. 2000. You're older than, didn't I? So when you grew up, I think Facebook was potentially coming out, already out at that time.
Facebook would it? No.
You know, Facebook was out, but it was very. I first got on
Not
Facebook in
great.
2014, so I don't know what that correlates to in terms of when it was released. But I only had it really because friends and not even friends, family.
Yeah. I never really used it until I was a bit older. I don't use much social media now. It's LinkedIn and Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, you are right. I am old. You know, it's one of them, isn't it? It was always Snapchat when I was growing up.
It was 2004, February the 4th, 2004. Facebook
So I was the catalyst. When I was born,
released.
I
Facebook.
thought, right, this guy needs Facebook in his life.
Yeah. And are they right? Facebook Marketplace, best thing that's ever happened. I love it.
So you come up in that world with social media.
Yeah.
So you've literally got into secondary school, and it's probably out there. It's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you had to join onto that social media platform?
Some of them, yeah. I do think if a lot, there's loads of different apps that come out for these. They're advertised as these friend chat bots that you can go onto, and there was always a new one like every year. I think especially when you're in school, and everyone will have this chat, and if you don't have it, it's you don't have this thing. So you would get it, I think, off the basis of that. But if you actively used it after a week, probably not. I don't know about yourself.
I know that there was a phase at school when everyone was getting, is it Kick Messenger or something? I think I used it a handful of times, and then that was it.
So
But
one of the things that's always I've wondered about, like when I was at school, you know, you get your typical bully in the school, but they had to knock on my door or come round to my house. Do you know what I mean? To do that. But for you guys, did you get like a lot, like just sort of on your phone? Like, did you get?
I've got an interesting story about it. It's a bit of a tangent.
How long is this going to take?
It's not going to take as long as some of the stories in the last episode, I'll tell you that much.
12 days later.
12 days later. So I started my video journey, I suppose, on YouTube. And I created...
1 second. We will share that.
And what was
Carry
that
on.
channel's name? Sorry.
Oh, it's all privated now. It's no point.
Can we get?
Right, so it was
what
called,
is the name?
It was called Geordie Bot.
Geordie Bot. Geordie
Right.
Bot.
Bot.
Right. Okay.
Definitely worth a look. But carry on.
I will happily put a video on screen now of it. I've got no shame. Anyway, so yeah, I've done this film series and one short film called Mission Unstoppable, and then I created a second one. The first one got about 600 views. Don't know how. I didn't have many subscribers at the time. And then the second installment got a load of traction, but from the wrong people. There was a user who, I won't mention his name, and he started commenting things on my YouTube videos, like not criticism, but it was more just like stuff that he saw as banter, but it was kind of like undirectioned hate. It's probably the best way to describe it. He then started making, at the time, I think this is 2016, I don't know if you might know this more than what you, there was commentary YouTubers, like one, for example, that's quite famous, Leafy.
Oh yeah.
That's sort of like Sean Webb, basically they put games on in the background and comment and slate someone's video or something. And this guy copied that format, but with my video. He found out where I lived being Toaster, and so he basically made a threat that he was going to come to my secondary school and perform a violent act, we'll say. So I had to get the police involved. Still don't know who this guy is to this day. Was never revealed to me. I don't know what the police done in the end. It was all sort of left secret to me. But the videos are still up on YouTube.
So you know, how old were you? How old were you at this point?
I would have been in year 8 or 9.
So you would have been 11, 12. No, 12, 13.
I don't.
Well, so,
probably 13, 14.
14. So you've just gone on, and what I would say now is quite common for kids to go on and try and be a YouTuber. So you started to do it when it was just coming out and doing that kind of thing. But this guy's then gone on, which you're just doing as a bit of fun and because it's something you're interested in. Someone's ripped it apart. Now, to the point that you've got to get the police in because they're threatening you. Like, I don't see what the point is.
The thing is, I will say that's almost like a start of where things would have started, because social media now, you've got your Snapchat. Do you know what I mean? Everyone, my younger brother and sister, they both use Snapchat and also, Instagram and whatever it may be. The stuff that gets posted on there, you post a photo, the comments and stuff, it doesn't just stop at YouTube. Do you know what I mean? Things are being taken to the extreme with fake profiles and information being dug out and then shared within the school, which, is a knock-on effect, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think what doesn't help with, just in general, like across the platforms, obviously you have the report feature, and I'm not saying like Facebook, Instagram, whatnot need to employ thousands of people to manually sit through these reports, but like, for instance, I've had to report things recently. There's an account who duplicated some content that I'd created and didn't have my permission, but nothing ever happens with it.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? I think when it comes to social media, there's so much that goes on there. Like, I can think of many stories. The one that comes to mind quite a bit is obviously Caroline Flack. If you remember the presenter of Love Island, she's had some stuff in her personal life, and then social media rips her apart. And then, obviously, unfortunately and tragically, she took her own life. But again, if social media wasn't involved, would that have happened? Probably like, if something happens in your life or my life or your life, it doesn't get published all over the place, and this is, I think, part of, I don't know with social media how it can be controlled, or I think this is where it comes in with parents and understanding maybe how social media is and how it kind of works. Again, for me, as I've said in the previous one, my stuff's locked down. Like, my boys won't even get onto Facebook, not until they're at an age that they can understand what it is. And I've always been skeptical of social media, whereas my wife Leela, that's her job. She understands social. She does it for a living, and she's seen comments on people she looks after. It's just horrible comments. And I think when people sit in front of their phones and they're writing this stuff, would you go to that person's face and actually speak that way?
Keyboard warriors, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, so what gives people the rights to do it and do what they did to you over the internet?
Yeah. I mean, another segue, I suppose, what can comment on something similar. I had someone who I knew the account. He decided to go on Google Street View and post my home address. I don't know which one of people I knew in secondary told him, but the video is literally him going onto Google Street View, and they titled it, because my name at the time was Geordie FX, address leaked, and he literally in an IT lesson at school had got his phone under the desk and filmed the front of my house and had my address in the top corner. I reported it to YouTube, was telling people on my family on Facebook, please report it. Told him what you're doing, take it down. He refused to take it down, and it took, I think, midday of the following day for one of the heads of years in my secondary school to go, right, that needs to be taken down. But it's if nowadays there's more users being online, like
that would spread like wild.
Of course it would, yeah.
So was it like one person targeting you at school, right? Or did you really, really annoy someone?
No.
Jordan, who did you annoy?
Right, tell us. Plot twist, it was a teacher.
No,
Mr. Redstone.
Didn't read his Roger Red Hat properly.
This all happened around the same time as the first instance. It was all like, they weren't generally horrible people in this group. It was just people who had a bit of those people who have like a weird sense of humour, and people sort of look at and go, that's not funny, like a bit of a weird, not like I suppose what people
just say, hey, they're weird.
Yeah, weird, right. Then. But they weren't like horrible people, but so they thought that it was all funny. But they had no remorse or anything for this whole thing. I was like, you guys have literally put my private address.
Right, so that's Jordan. Sometimes that's what I got to love about you, man. The way you look at things, like, they're not horrible people, but
they obviously are for doing this.
Yeah, let's call a spade here, mate. Like you got a group of people that were targeting you when you were younger doing your YouTube, and they were complete and utter dicks.
Yeah.
So let's call a spade. Like, hats off to try and look at it in a positive outlook, but they were not good.
No, the horrible people. Yeah, and I mean,
for a young lad just trying to obviously follow a passion, that could have changed a lot for you, I suppose. But no, fair play for sticking through it.
I say you still film, you still do stuff.
I still film.
That could have knocked you off, and you might be, I don't know.
Yeah, we've leaked your sites many times, haven't we, Ethan?
Yeah, I did it last night.
Mostly to the FBI.
Yeah. Well, that's for monitoring purposes.
What about you, Ethan? Because obviously...
Yeah,
I don't know some.
No.
Surely you had some online bullying.
Well, no.
Say it.
Right. In all seriousness, then, I know you're quite big into your cars.
I'm glad you said into your cars.
Fine.
I love the quite big bit you got.
Obviously, I don't know much about the car scene in terms of like meets and things like that. Like, have you yourself seen it on socials? Like, have you had it yourself personally? Where maybe you've, I don't know, had a car and someone thinks it's not the best or something, but obviously their own opinion. But like, have you ever seen it?
All my cars are the best. They're great. Well, yeah. I mean, you are going to get that. I mean, social media has changed a lot of things. You know, especially in the the car and the meat industry, whatever you want to call it. I've only started driving within the last 2-3 years, so for me, I've gone sort of in the back end of it now, where it's it's now it's not as good as it used to be. But,
So you like to go into the back end of the
cars? Yeah, I do. Do you know what? If that's a problem, mate, I get kidnapped frequently.
See, I've always wondered where he goes at lunchtime. Yeah, so...
I could explain my schools if you want me to.
No.
You went from me being younger to he went to cars, so it's kind of a bit...
Yeah, no, I think what I'm kind of getting at with yourself, Ethan, in that...
I'm a big lad.
Yeah. You're a big lad, like similar to, no different to any of it, like me and Jordan in that aspect. And how did you find growing up in school? And obviously you're in the times of COVID as well, with the GCSEs. How did you find growing up through secondary school with that access to basically everybody can just get to you within seconds?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a big lad. I've never been... Clearly, I'm not exactly skinny. And I never have been. Throughout school, I've been a big lad. I like my food. That's, it's one of them, innit? You're either big or you're not. But I think throughout school, I've always been, it's fatty this or fatty that. You won't fit through the door or stuff like that. But I think I've sort of grown a mentality, sort of laugh it off almost.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, it doesn't really affect me, and it hasn't done for many years. In the aspect of the social media online stuff, I'm not really massive into my social media in terms of posting photos of myself and what I get up to. I'm quite a private person when it comes to that. I have been, even when I was in school. It was only occasionally I'd get, someone else would post a photo, a group photo or something. Then I might get a couple of comments like, "Who's the slug on the end?" And you just sort of brush it to it. But you do know it's true.
It's not funny.
I've never heard of that one before.
Yeah,
like,
well, we could list a few off, but we won't.
But you do, you get called a whale. Okay, cool, whatever. But everyone's different. You crack on, and I've brushed it off. Do you know what I mean?
This is the thing. Obviously, when I was growing up, again in secondary school, I think the best one I had was "You wearing your mum's bra." I thought it was brilliant. But,
shook his hand like, "Well done, mate."
But in secondary school, you for me, I didn't get any of that. It was all vocal, and then you didn't get.
Yeah, a lot of it was vocal.
When you
for me,
go home, you didn't get it at home. But you were saying you don't really use socials.
No,
I'm not a big fan of socials. But what about yourself? Because don't you think that now with socials, it's an actual addiction?
You love it, Jordan.
I've always said to people that if I was in the job I was in, I wouldn't have as many social media accounts as what I do. I don't like the obsession that some people have with social media, and I think you certainly see it more with like the younger generation coming up.
You're going to see scroll obsession. You constantly scroll.
Is it doom scrolling?
Yeah, that's what they call it. Or like
it,
mindless scrolling. But like, it brings on to a point that I was looking into. I don't know if any of the viewers have seen or you guys have seen The Social Dilemma on Netflix.
The silence will say, "Oh no."
Cool. So to cut a long story short, I'm not going to spoil it because it's a really interesting watch. Essentially, it's people from, I think it's Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, Google, and one other company who used to work at the companies came together and made this documentary. And they talk about the addictive design of social media and essentially how it's, I suppose, engineered in a way that say you haven't been on it in a few hours or something, it will send you a notification of something that might be completely useless. So, like I know Facebook does. Ethan Mulvin posted in this group or something. Which it's not going to add anything to your life. But like you go, oh, okay, you pick it up because
How dare you? Ethan Mulvin has posted. You will look at that post.
They want you on their app because when you're on their app, that's when.
Do you know what it is with the addiction of social media? I think is that for me, I don't really see it now. I can end. I'm not. I will end up doom scrolling at points. I would. Yeah. I think. Being constantly on it though, and do you know what it is? It's the likes.
Yeah.
Don't you think now with social media, there's, I've heard comments in the office, I've heard comments where people were around you and they're like, oh, I didn't get any likes on that post.
Yeah.
It's like, well, would you go to a shopping centre, stand up and go, take a look at this photo, this is me on holiday.
Expect a round of applause.
And then everybody come up and sort of tap you on back and you're counting the taps on the back. Do you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't do it. But the social media side of stuff, like, you've got to have these perfect photos and, these edited.
Got to be perfect, edited.
Edited, yeah. I don't get the edited photo side of stuff. Like, you look like a Barbie doll or it changes the way you look.
I look.
But then you're getting all these likes and everything like that. And then if you don't get enough, it's like the end of the world.
Yeah, I think I think what makes it worse now is Instagram have now further gone on to add likes onto stories, so people can like a story and even comment now. And it's people constantly looking. I think I think a lot of it ties in with maybe mental health to an aspect, like people thinking that. Not necessarily, I suppose, validation in a way, but like,
well, it
if
is.
no one likes that post, then that what creates.
If I put a post up and no one I had 100 people like it, I'm sat thinking, who's seen it? It's 100 people. I don't know 100 people. Like, who's looking at me?
I agree. Like,
it freaked me out.
Like me and Lila can be so far apart when it comes to social media. I think I've got 80 people on my Facebook.
Yeah.
And I don't even know half of them.
I think I'm on 43 now.
But the thing is, what I find is obviously, like you're saying about the validation mental. I think it is validation. Like girls, and I'm going to be honest, young girls do as well. Just as I suppose young men, whatever. It is the younger generation that go up and they put these photos up, and if they don't get enough likes or comments, they don't feel validated in the world around them. And back in me growing up, what validation I was looking for was the old man pat you on the back going, "Well done, son." Yeah. Now it seems to be
your audience or your followers.
Yeah, your audience or your followers, and they count their followers. Like, oh, I've only got 1,000 followers. Oh, well done, I've got one.
Do you know what? That reminds me of there's there was a kid over in America that basically because he had more followers than his mum and his dad. He left the house and said that they weren't relevant enough to speak to him.
Wow!
And obviously, I know that's coming from America. So
yeah, we'll leave that there. We'll leave that there.
But you know what I mean? Like that's the level you're getting to. Yeah. Where that's a young child that's thinking, well, I shouldn't speak to my mum or dad because they haven't got any followers.
Yeah.
Where's that come from?
Well, to be fair, you can pay for followers.
Well, yeah.
Don't you think this now is getting?
Steve's gone up to 3,000.
Mate, I don't pay for followers. No one likes me out there. So don't you think now, like again, it's that misleading side of social media. Like we've seen businesses go from like having 1,000 followers and shot up to like 2,000, 2,500 followers in a matter of 2 months or a month.
Comment or 2 likes.
And then they've got one comment or something. It's like, well, we clearly know you're paying for that.
Yeah,
like. You're paying for people to like you. That is. If you narrow this down, that is exactly what you've done.
Yeah, literally.
You need to be liked, so you pay for it. Well, the thing is, like the blue tick, they used to be able to verify it back in the day.
Yeah.
Who had the blue tick?
You just buy it now, don't you?
Yeah, you can buy it now. But I think on Twitter it used to be you had to have so many followers and so much engagement to get
so
it.
So you know, right? Because they used to check the followers were genuine, I believe, and they used to go through it, and you had to go through a big old process.
But it was called a verified tick.
Don't you just chuck Elon Musk a $5 now, and he's like, mate, here's your blue tick.
I think it is. You get your tick done.
Yeah. But doesn't that take away the validation a little bit?
Yeah.
Like I can go and get a blue tick, say, I'm a famous podcaster.
Yeah, he's gone in for money, hasn't he? I think that's the idea, isn't it? It's making funds off it. It's changing. The world's changing. Again, everything's subscription-based.
Everything's subscription-based. But again, everything's done on your likes and your validation online, and everyone's on their phones and scrolling through it and doing stuff like that, and you just don't know what's genuine and what's not anymore. And there was a post that Leela sent to me before. It was a picture of an apple. Now this apple and it is stuck with me for a long time. Now listen, there's an apple in front of the mirror. The apple looks beautiful. It looks nice, juicy, red, whatever. But the back of it is rotten. And the thing is, what you see on socials generally sometimes might not always be the case. But then you get people look at that. So you get these pretty girls go up, and I talked to you about this before. Do you know the Facebook feed? Like I'm flicking through my Facebook feed, and it's got all these women with this trend at the moment where you got to pause your video and do this and do that. There's loads of it. I showed Lila the other day. There's loads of it all over it. Now I've removed it, like you said.
Yeah.
Now it's all over my Insta.
Yep.
It's like a virus.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But anyway,
It's because that's what it is. They try to get that traction, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's like what? Because I'm a 37-year-old ginger man. Like I need that or something. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I know. Well, I can't remember. I don't know the details exactly, but I know Facebook went through a case in America. I think it might have been during COVID or before COVID, from a privacy point of view, because I think it's no secret that Facebook have got quite a lot of people's data on their hands. Like, I don't know if either of you have ever been through like the data Facebook holds for you.
They've got everything.
I found contacts on an old phone I had from like before I was even on an iPhone. So I'm talking like 2015, 16, and they're on Facebook.
Yeah, because there was a case about that. I can't remember what the outcome exactly was, but there was a massive case on it.
I think it was sort of similar to one that TikTok's going through at the moment. But
But don't you think with social media you should keep some stuff private?
Absolutely.
Like yourself, you've cut your phone out of it, you cut your flag. Just keep Jordan off social media.
Basically, don't post again.
Never again.
Post, just not.
Just carry on posting your phone calls.
Yeah. Every phone call you have. Yeah.
Today I was phoning on the phone to Steve's house.
Don't post them.
Don't post them. So you get cancelled.
You're going to be more experienced on this than what we are, but you mentioned last episode that was it Riley's iPad is Fort Knox locked down.
Yeah, so like when it comes to obviously social media, when it comes to kids, I think there should be an age limit. I generally do. I don't think you should just let any kid on social media.
It's meant to be, but it's like 12, crack on.
I think there should be like ID checks or something.
Well, again, could you, if you're smart enough to let's be honest, Lily, Brabham's daughter knows how to use ChatGPT.
If she could make a fake ID,
it wouldn't surprise me. She could probably pull up PowerPoint, Photoshop, and probably Photoshop herself onto her mum's driving license. I couldn't put past kids nowadays anyway. No. But I do think
AI would do that though, wouldn't it? Replace this photo with this
I think when it comes to, I don't know how you can control social media in the aspects of the people that make it, because you can't really do it because you don't know the people that's signing up to it. I do think it comes down to parents a little bit, and the devices you give your children need to have parental controls on. Again, you wouldn't let your kid go into the middle of a shopping mall, shout out, I'm so and so.
With that as well, the parents are getting obviously younger, and parents that are now growing up and having children were on social media, and they've grown up with social media. Like a lot of people I know from school have got children now, and they grew up on social media, so pushing that onto their child and letting them do it is seen as normal, and that's fine.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that in the world it's normal now. I do. In that young parents like yourself, like when you and your missus have a baby, social media, you grew up in it, and it is the case. Same with yourself. Well, for me, it's slightly different. It's slightly different in my aspect. I grew up. I was old anyway. I grew up without it. Too much maths. But I think with kids, and you're right in what you're saying, you're spot on. I think the generation that grew up with social media, and then it's now going to their youngers for their social media, they do need to understand that that's fine, but put your parental controls around it.
Yeah, 100%.
Lock it off. Control it a little bit. Don't give your 9-year-old Facebook so she can go on it and chat to anyone. Yeah, I agree. Know what I mean?
I'm not saying it's bad. There are benefits to it, and I think for communication purposes potentially, whatever it may be. But you are right. Parental controls, they're there. Use them.
Yeah,
I think it's 100%. A parent's responsibility to monitor it.
And I think, look, do you know what? With when it comes to Facebook, there is parental controls. Same with Instagram. With your iPhones now, you've got parental controls in the settings, and pads. Samsung, you've got parental controls. With Google, you've got the family controls. Same with Xbox. Everything comes with family controls. I just don't think people are digging deep into it to be able to control it a little bit. And I think people need to kind of realise that when they just let their kids go and do anything on the internet, it's just as bad as letting them roam the streets.
Yeah,
you don't know who. You don't know who you're going to come across. Yes, they ain't going to get hit by a car, but you don't know what dangers are lurking around on certain chats or with people.
Do you know what? That brings up another thing as well with so I'm going to a lot of kids play a game called Roblox.
Roblox,
Right.
yes.
Roblox.
So here, right, a lot of parents obviously won't want to give their kids an email address, but you'll sign your own up, for example, or you'll put it as a backup. Now, there was something I saw on LinkedIn recently. I can't remember who posted about it, but they almost got it's happened, for people around me as well. They almost got their email banks, everything hacked and taken off them due to a Roblox issue.
Right, I'm gonna put it out there, right, and I will stand my ground when it comes to it. Roblox is banned
It's a
in my
virus.
gaff.
It's awful.
I think it's not moderated. It is literally a paedophile's playground. Like it's not moderated. You're looking at him like, can you say that? Can you say that? I think it is. Like, it's not moderated in any shape or form. All these kids are on there. Like, Riley tries to go on it and play on it. Ruben's started now.
It's a spawn of Satan. It's
like,
so
Ruben's
bad.
5 and he's brought his pad into me and gone, oh, it's Roblox. Like,
Whatever happened to Minecraft?
yeah, I love Minecraft.
Yeah, but
Like, that's nice, just on your own.
But you say that Minecraft, you get some
Yeah, but that's
weirdos on the
multiplayer.
chat.
I mean, even
That's only multiplayer, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, but on the Minecraft front, right, you've got people like, okay, social media, right, YouTubers. I grew up watching, I don't know if you must be Stampy, right? And Stampy Cat, Ballistic Squid, whatnot, playing Minecraft.
Bit of a nerd, mate.
But then you had Alpha Lee, right? Did you ever watch his videos? So he had this
I did say who, so I'm going to say no.
He had this bear, right, who was like, stay with Stampy and Lee or whatever. And then it came out years later that Lee was actually a predator and Stampy instantly cut ties with him. But it's like people looked up to and loved this guy. 'Cause he never said anything in the video.
It happens a lot, though, doesn't it? You see it all
Well,
the
this is
time.
what I mean. Like, there's stuff out there that's not controlled in that aspect on a personal side at all. It really isn't. And Roblox do concern me. It would be never allowed in my house at all.
100%.
I don't think it's controlled in any shape or form. And I think when it comes to socials, my concern is that with Instagram, TikTok, all that kind of stuff, I do think it needs to be moderated. But again, you could look at socials in business, right? Okay, so there's a lot we've touched on the personal side, but how have you found socials for you as a business? Like, for me, like, I'll just say my point of view. Leader controls all our socials, and what she does with that, I think, is absolutely brilliant. And we put out and we try and make it as personal as we can, so people see the real us in that aspect. But how do you find it you in your business with your socials?
A bit of a love-hate relationship, if I'm honest.
That's just general relationships.
I thought you were going to say, and that's all. Thanks, right?
That's watching. No, I think socials in the video space is great because I've met some videographers through LinkedIn. Who
I'm glad you said LinkedIn.
who I get on really, really well with. However, I've had times before I've posted content, I'll bring them up again in the second episode, Your Business Expo, right? First video done for them.
Another plug.
Plug.
Did you film for them, did you?
I did film for them,
Right,
yeah.
I was just
So you do the whole filming for you?
I did the whole film, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
I
never knew that.
And what was the company called again, sorry?
Your Business Expo.
Oh.
Never knew that.
No, I didn't know that either. That's great.
So I posted one of the videos, the Cywell one from 2023, because it was, for me at the time, like, growing my business, it was like, the biggest project I'd done. So I shouted a lot about it. And someone who I'd connected with, like a drone pilot or something, had a lot to say about, like, the video or the shots or whatever, and was always trying to get me to, like, I don't know, like, apologise to him. Or he was older than me, probably like early 30s from what I could tell how he looks on his profile picture.
Well, the gauge on your age is wrong. You said I was 30, so he could have been...
He could have been 60, I don't know.
He could have been 18.
He definitely wasn't.
Okay.
So this guy is, again, come on, because you did your filming the drone and then ripped your drone videos apart.
Essentially, yeah. So I privately messaged him, and not justified, but I defended.
What's your beef, bro?
Not like that, but yeah, basically. And he never responded to me.
I keep a warrior.
So that's all I'm going to say.
Keyboard.
But I mean, I have had a lot of good come from social media. Like, there's a company and a guy who I've worked quite a lot with, and I sat down with him over a drink once, and he said that he found me through my socials, like posting, saw my work, saw that I was active, and that's what encouraged him to reach out to me.
I think just on that, I think, well, we met you, 2023? I think
24.
It would have been early.
What's the last business expo we went to? Another plug.
You went. You
So
was.
we've actually been to quite a few, haven't we? So it'll be quite hard to.
I met you last year at Sywell.
Was it right? Okay,
Yeah.
so
Was it?
It must have been. Yeah, so it must have been Sywell.
I never saw you guys at Bedford because you and Leela went to Bedford. I never saw you guys.
You're right.
So the 2024 one we did was beginning of the year last year at Sywell, and that's when me and Ethan first. I'm going to say discovered. We discovered Jordan. I'm going to say it. That's where we first
Big J.
Hasn't
discovered.
been in the same sense.
We discovered Jordan. We went to a networking, and we did that. But we've looked at your socials,
Yeah.
and I have to say, I was impressed with what you did and how you did it, which is how we engaged in kind of the relationship there. But I think I could never go on to social media and rip someone's work apart. Now, I don't have a fear of social media side of stuff and people saying stuff because I know Leela Souchers, so I'm pretty sure that's covered. But my fear is more in real life. I would never get up and stand in front of a room like if I was to do a talk about IT in that aspect, because I would fear what would be heckled at me. And I guess it's the same with you on your socials. You're putting up a video and you've got that anxiety that is going up, going, oh, what are people going to think? What are people going to say? And I kind of get it. Like, you know, when you've had negative comments in the past and stuff like that, I kind of understand in that aspect how you would feel in that. But I think your social media for you as a business, I think it does wonders.
There's certainly been a shift over the last, I'd say, definitely 10 years easily.
Yeah.
But audiences online, I think, are a lot more sensitive.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, people enjoy an argument, don't they? But if someone can annoy someone online, you know, it's become more common. People enjoy sort of people's misery and an arguing online.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what I think. That's what stems it mostly. Is can I start something here?
Yeah,
yes, I can.
Is it? It's just staying relevant, isn't it? Like
100%.
You know, you've got those warriors that go out on social trolls. They call them, don't they?
Yeah,
they call them trolls.
So old.
I am old.
It's those trolls.
Those trolls. But they like trolling, going online and trolling, and just unnecessary stuff. And to be fair, when it comes to socials with business, so easy to impersonate a business page and cause damage of reputation.
Giveaways is a big one at the moment. Like, there's a client of mine who's doing a giveaway, and they've had a fake account created who are messaging people who have entered said giveaway, trying to get details off of them, or, you know, make them think they've either won or...
If you become a target and someone wants to target you, it's not very difficult to, you know, mimic, take logos, take content. It's quite easy, especially if it's all posted online. It's quite easy to do, and you know, they're all, like you say, accounts are going to be made and people are going to try and impersonate. We get it all the time, don't we? Impersonations of anyone. Yourself, you get impersonated. You email me on the frequently.
Well, that comes back to the email and the cybersecurity side with that. But again, it's very easy to find out information of a business. You've got LinkedIn. Go on LinkedIn. I want to look for Sue. She works at this place, and there she is. There's the details. That's where she used to work and all this. Could I use that information to email them and go, hi, it's so and so. Yeah, I knew you from back in the day. You went to this school. You did this. You studied this. If I remember, you were
doing this at work, and I was there when this happened at work.
Yeah, you start engaging social engineering. You start engaging that conversation. You know, what can you get out of people? And the thing is, like when it comes to that, like passwords and that, most people, it's come out on the radio. I was listening to on Capital that most men use their football team and the year for their password. So like Man U 25.
Do you like football, Jordan?
Jordan doesn't like any sports.
I like rugby. I just despise football.
Right.
What's wrong with football?
We're not going to get into his account.
Everything's wrong with football.
Okay, we'll
save it for another episode.
Leave that another episode.
Did I just spark a debate?
Sorry.
But anyway,
we're gonna have this debate at some point.
Forgot where I was.
Are you that angry?
I think... Oh, you got more...
No. I think what he was talking about.
I think we've covered quite a lot with socials. I think we spoke about, the good, the bad, and the addictive, was it?
It was the addictive, yeah.
The addictive.
The addictive.
So,
and Ethan's haircut.
and Ethan's haircut.
And that I'm old.
And that you're old. But not that old.
You do look like you've had a rough life.
Mate, I've worked for you for the last 5 years. That's got to contribute to it somewhere. We didn't like that.
Coming up next month, Ethan and Steve.
So hang on, we've got a debate about football and rugby. And
anyway, while we're talking about social, when we were just finishing on performance on socials, so we had a little task the other day, and we googled "say something" video.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Justin Timberlake come up.
He's a mate of yours, isn't he?
So
Bit of a rocky relationship. That's how most of them go.
So say something video. Were you a big fan of Justin? Is that what
Love
give
him.
you?
Maybe
Is that what
post
give you-
posts
I
on the
was
wall, maybe.
I was inspired heavily by his hit single "Say Something," and I thought, why not just add what I do on the end video?
So when it comes back on the socials as a business, one of the smart things to probably not do would be to call your business after a song title.
Yes.
Correct.
Because when I go, oh, I need a videographer. I need to get a video done in the business. So I'm gonna open up Google, and I'm gonna go, oh, say something video, and I'm gonna Google that. But then I'm greeted by the lovely Justin, who's now singing me a song, something
Who
about say something.
coincidentally turned his song into a music video. And what had happened was it all linked in.
So that's why that comes up.
Yeah,
Say
yeah.
something video.
That's why we struggled to find him when we first Googled him.
I love the segue, by the way. It's going really well.
Sorry.
That will be charged out.
Charged hourly.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what that means. I don't know what he's talking about.
I suppose what you're hinting at here is my announcement that if you haven't seen already, Say Something Video is now Say Something Creative, and
He finally did it. He finally did
I
it.
finally did it.
It took him 2-3 months to do that, by the way. It's been an in and out. It's been a decision.
Do I do it? Do I not do it? Video creative production. And that this gentleman here is now joining me as my business partner.
Well, yes, I'm coming. Well, it'd be 3RS. It'd be
Thanks, mate.
me, Ethan, and Leela. So
Of course it is. Hang on.
I'm just not
No,
there,
let
mate.
me.
No, it's
rephrase.
fine, mate.
No,
Don't worry about it.
it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like he thinks you're old. You've got a really, really crap haircut, and now he doesn't want nothing to do with his business.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just delete your accounts.
So anyway, we have partnered with yourselves. So 3RS is coming in with Say Something Creative.
Close one.
Close.
With me, Ethan, and Leela. So I believe now with the Leela and Brabbins coming on board,
Social media.
you have now got social media. You can now start promoting that you can do social media and photography, I believe, as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're well done on the expansion of the business, and I know we've worked now for over a year and a half, and I know what your ambitions and your dreams are. And Jordan, do you know what? I have to give it to you. Like, well done for the constant slug you've done over the past year and a half to get it to where it is.
Got some wings now. Yeah.
Just some wings ready to fly.
And I'm 25% of it. It's brilliant.
So after you've heard us slate social media for half hour, but also it's good stuff, get it done properly with Say Something Creative. That was a really good segue, weren't it?
It was all right, but we can work on it.
We're working on it.
There's room for improvement.
It's a good job you're not the face of the business or anything, isn't it?
This is where we
Right.
get Brabbins in. we remove you out and put a face in there that the people
Do you
want
want
to see.
Do you want a cameo? No, we'll save it for next time. Right, without further ado, anything to add?
No, I just think for my finishing statement.
Finish your statement. Oh,
I think this is going to be.
Call
She's going to have a finishing statement, and I think for this episode, my finishing statement is that when it comes to social media, there is controls, there is privacy, there is settings, and I think as parents and business owners, you really need to investigate it, and especially with your children, just spend 5 minutes going through those settings and keep your children safe and your businesses safe by making sure you've got the right security and privacy set up for your social media. Very adult.
That's very mature of you.
Thank you.
That's professional.
Yeah.
I like that. That was good.
Ethan,
What
yourself.
do I add on to that? It was beautiful.
Ethan's going for an haircut.
Is that going to be on? Is that on the to-do list for next time?
What, my haircut?
Yeah.
Well,
Ethan's to-do list, mate. I'll show you that when we get into the office.
I got it cut from last time.
That's a cut, mate.
Hang on, episode 1. I got it cut from last time.
Someone butchered
Right,
him.
So it's gone a little bit less. So maybe next time I'll trim it a bit more, and then it'll go.
Right,
better.
Mate, just stop.
Can I
putting
get
it-
some suggestions for haircuts?
Stop putting it
Is that
off.
allowed?
Do you know what? That's a good idea. Right.
Because I am going bold. I'll be honest.
We're going to put it out there. Leah's going to put it out on Say Something when when this goes out. If anyone's got any suggestions for that mop that is on Ethan's head,
No, I'm not going bold. No, I'm not having a what's it called?
Buzz cut.
Not having a buzz cut. And no, I'm not having a mohawk.
So basically, you're going to keep the hair the way it is.
No.
what's
everything
that
else.
one where they have it at the back again?
Mullet.
Mullet.
Oh my god.
Mate,
Right.
for charity, I think you should wear a mullet.
I'm going to start coming in checkered clothing as well.
Make you already look homeless.
You've already pulled off the dungarees look.
To be fair, if
Picture
you've
on
not seen,
screen.
if you've not seen that, put that on screen. that suits me and it annoys me. But regardless.
Join us next time to find out what Ethan does with his hair.
Yeah, I want some suggestions.
I'm really. Do you know what? I'm excited to see that.
I want some suggestions. Yeah, that'd be good. We get a poll going or something.
We've had the Souch closing statement. Join us next month for, I believe, we're talking about tech fails and horror stories.
That should be a fun one.
Yes.
So
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one.
it's gonna be good. So in the meantime, thanks for watching. Follow us on our socials. Say something Souch, and we'll see you for the next episode.
Adios.
Adios.